Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the one true God, and Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And I want to give double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to send salutations to all the Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, exalting the name of Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity. Alright, so this lesson is going to be about a lesson that I saw from the brother here in Chicago, the brother Rapaya. And the brother was basically very vocal and passionate about, I guess, a certain brother that didn't. Well, the brother basically was lacking, and he didn't do the work with fear and trembling. He wasn't doing enough work. All right, he wasn't doing his videos. I think that it was like 3 weeks he didn't do a video. I believe the brother wasn't showing up to camp, things of that nature, so the brother was lukewarm, and he was lacking, and I think eventually he fell away, or he got kicked out. So yeah, he gave this very passionate lesson, and inspired this lesson. Because I said to myself, you can always do better, but you cannot quit. You can always do better. You cannot quit. You can fail, but you can't be a failure. Hell, you can even stop, but you cannot stay down. You can't just stop completely. You know what I mean? Because that just means that you gave up, and you can't give up. I understand that this is only for the elect, and 144,000, the 1/3. But yeah, there's just a standard of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai that He just expects, and you got to live up to that. And the brothers are supposed to check other brothers, man, and check on other brothers, and that's what the brotherhood is for, is keep us in line. And like the scriptures say, if a little leaveneth the whole lump, you cut it off, roughly paraphrasing. So you got to cut off what's not good for the body. And I think that brother got cut off, and he's not doing the work anymore. He's not doing the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And yeah, so it's a fearful thing to be in this truth. It's glorious, you know what I mean? It really is, man. It really is. It's great, because we have a certain knowledge that the world just cannot have, and it's a beautiful thing that He has called us to know it, and that we have an opportunity to be chosen. So you just don't want to give up the things that the Lord promised us for this seasonal life that's not going to last. And it won't fulfill you either. That's why you got to come to the Lord emptied, not full, empty, so that He can fill you up with this honey, this living water, this bread, this word, So I want to jump into the scripture. Proverbs 27:5. Open rebuke is better than secret love. And that's what it is, man. That video is an open rebuke. But You know, you cannot claim you love your brother if you don't correct him and show him um, how to correct himself and put him back in order, and you know, to send him off to do what is right. And if you don't do that, then you really don't love your brother. You really are a reason why he didn't get open rebuked, because you got to get open rebuked openly in front of the congregation to be corrected. You know, some things can be done in secret. Some things be out in the open to set an example for another brother, man. All right. So you can't say you love your brother if you can't accept the rebuke. All right. Because he's just trying to set you right. All right. Proverbs 9:9. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. So you give the instruction. All right. You become wiser, and you increase in learning. You know what I'm saying? That's what a wise man would do. He will increase in learning. All right? And he'll have that fear. Verse 10. The fear of the Lord of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. And the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So, you know, you got to have that fear. That fear is what keeps you in check. Keeps you in line, you know? So, you know, so you want to have that fear. When you operate in that fear, you do what you're supposed to do because you know the consequences of it. All right? The consequences mean everything. All right? Because you don't want to deal with the consequences that a person that doesn't even know the truth. All right? You don't want to have to deal with that. All right? Because you're going to get beaten with many stripes because you knew. So you're going to get a worse judgment because you knew and you chose to be rebellious rather than the one that didn't know and is rebellious. So it's going to even worse punishment. Hebrews 12:6 says, For whom the Lord loveth, he chastiseth, and scorneth every son whom he receiveth. So even the Lord will correct you. All right? Even the Lord will put you back in order. All right? And he does that through his prophets, who is supposed to be your brothers. And this is what the brotherhood is supposed to do. All right? This is what the brotherhood is for. All right? So the Lord even chastises us as sons. And because we are the sons, all right, of the living power. All right? If we continue. All right? Hell, we're the firstborn anyway. But you're truly a son of the Lord if you act like it. Otherwise, you're just a bastard. All right? So correction is supposed to be all over the place. Whether even the brother next to you, same rank, everything. You know, he correct you, an older brother correct you, whether he be a bishop or a deacon or whatever, an elder. Correction. Anybody can be corrected if you're wrong. Sirach 8:9. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn instruction, and to give answer as need requireth. So our elders had elders, and they learned from, and then they got wise. They made mistakes. They got better. They improved. They increased in knowledge, and now that you're under them, they will tutor you, and you learn from them. All right, and so on and so on. All right. So it's all about correction. All right, and being rebuked and chastised and things of that nature. That's a part of our culture here at Yasharallah. All right, to be a Hebrew Israelite. All right, to be the prince of the power. Everybody's been chastised. The disciples were chastised by the Lord, corrected by the Lord, rebuked by the Lord. Yahweh Shai. How much more us? We rebuke each other. All right. So with that, all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai.